Hello YouTubers, hello friends out there. I thought would be nice to make another video showing some records that I've been listening a lot to and that I've added to my collection lately. And this time we have a bit of a theme here. It's really thought through because I've gathered these records just for this video. And the theme is, we talk about the 1970s. We talk about soul and disco. We talk about female singers who's not just very good at singing, but who's also very, at least in my views, attractive. Attractive voices and attractive looks. So this will be a very nice and very, hopefully, pleasant for the eyes video, because I'm going to show you some quite nice looking record sleeves here. But of course, it is the music that is the most important thing. And I'm going to start with a girl group that I'm sure that many of you are familiar with, the 3 Degrees. I've talked about them before in this channel, but I'd like to mention them again. I think this is the first album. It's on the Philadelphia International Records label. Well, with the song like Dirty Old Man. Yeah, I know I am. And it's great. Although I have to say, maybe some people will think that I'm an idiot now, but I have to say that I actually prefer the 3 Degrees of later date, of the late 1970s, on the, well, at least here on the Areola label, but mostly with the producer, the great Giorgio Moroder. I mean, 10-15 years ago, and even longer, far back in time, I had no love for disco whatsoever. But the more I've been listening to Giorgio Moroder produced music, the happier I get. And I've got here 2 3 Degrees albums produced by Giorgio Moroder. This is New Dimensions, and this is 3D. They are from 1978-79, and they are extremely good because we have great dance beat, great music that makes you happy. And I have to say my absolute favorite is the song that starts number 2 here, The Runner, with this beat and this very, I like both the lyrics and the melody, very good melody. I can listen to that song. That's one of the songs I've been listening to a lot lately. The 3 Degrees. Okay, over to the next. And now we're going to focus on the next 4 records. We're going to focus on a record company that many people out here are collecting. Well, I was going to put it right there. And that is the Holland-Dozier-Holland record label Invictus. And I'm sure that there are many of you who enjoy the records that were made by Invictus. I'm a great fan of Frida Payne. Band of Gold, her big hit. Even if she sometimes you got the impression that she didn't really like it, it's one of those songs that I can listen to. I can listen to it over and over and over and over again. And on YouTube there are so many incredibly good live versions of this song back from 1970 up until a couple of years ago. It seems like she's still active even if she's now a mature lady. So I have that first Invictus album, Band of Gold. It wasn't her first album. She had made a couple of albums before that, but when she became, well, she took the step from being a jazz standard singer to become a soul singer, a soul diva, and then later she turned into disco. Anyway, The first Invictus album that she made, Band of Gold, not that difficult to find, probably because it contained the big hits and it was the big seller. But I've been looking for, she made 3 albums on the Invictus. I've been looking for her 2 other albums for quite some time. And you know, when you've been looking for a long time, suddenly you get them, and then you can get them just very fast. And I managed to get both her 2 other albums very fast, and I'm very happy. And we talk about Contact, that I think is from 1971, and Reaching Out from 1973. And well, great albums, great music. She was such a great singer, and also she knew how to look good in a bikini. But of course, that's just a bit of a bonus. You can see the difference here in clothing, that maybe this didn't sell as much as she hoped for, so maybe we dress a little bit less and a bit more on sexiness, and she would have lots of sexy clothes on her later album too, but she never really had a big hit like Band of Gold again. But I have to say, all of the records that I've heard with her have been very good. So she's an artist that I admire a lot, both for her voice and for her looks. Okay, let's continue with Invictus, but with 2 different singers. This is one that I know is quite sought after by collectors. Laura Lee, her albums are quite sought after, and I'm very happy I found this. It's called I Can't Make It Alone. It's from 1974, and great soft soul, and she has a very distinct voice, well worth checking up. This is the first Laura Lee album I've got. I haven't found any before, but I have been aware of her as an artist for quite some time. I can't say the same about this next singer, Eloise Laws. Ain't It Good Feeling Good. I don't know that much about her. This is Invictus album from 1977. I was a bit surprised though, because I thought that Invictus folded much earlier, like the mid 70s, but this is from 77. More of a disco style, a bit funky, and great voice again, although in this fact I may be more attracted to the actual arrangements on this album, but still, it's Invictus. For me, that's quality. Okay, let's leave Invictus for now. The next record is by a singer that I hadn't heard about, but when I saw it, I thought, well, this is interesting. I think I could like this. And I'm talking about Melba Moore, and Look What You're Doing to the Man on Mercury. This is from 1971, and Mercury maybe wasn't that famous for their soul records, but they knew how to make a good production, and we have both like soul, a bit funky tunes, and a bit of like songs, Broadway songs like If I Had a Million from the Me Nobody Knows. I think my favorite track on this album is the title track, Look What You're Doing to the Man, that starts off the whole album. Very nice. I haven't heard any of her other records, but I'm going to look for them now. Okay. Let's get back to the world of girl trios. But now we have the Ritchie family. Life is Music on RCA. I don't really know what to say, but disco from 1977. Great vocals and great beats. Pleasant although I don't think it really stands out that much. The next one, I haven't actually listened to this one because I was going to, but then I noticed that some of the grooves on the opening track was a bit icky, so I need to have it cleaned first, and I haven't had any cleaning session. I rarely clean one record at a time. I save up some that I noticed, oh, these needs cleaning, and then I clean them. But I was going to put them here. Why do I keep forgetting them? Yeah. So I haven't listened to it yet. It's Susie Lane, Ooh La La, from 1979. It's on Elektra. They use the 1960s red Elektra label that I haven't seen for quite some time. So I can't really say anything about this other than we have the striking record sleeve. I think I will like it though, but as I said, I need to clean it first. The track would die. Another great singer that I haven't been aware of is Tata Wega. This is executive producer Iris Gordy. I wonder if she's related to Berry Gordy in any way. I don't know. Nice, funky pop soul, somewhere in that area. Great voice. Oh, it's Motown Record Corporation. Yeah, it's Motown, Tamla, on the Tamla label. Yeah, of course, there's some Gordy connection here. Yeah, I'm not a super fan of Tamla Motown, with some exceptions like Stevie Wonder and some of the girl groups of the 60s, but and the Supremes of the 70s. So I thought it was nice, and she's got a nice voice. Maybe she has made records that are a bit more interesting than that one. Then we have another singer called Dorothy Moore, and this is a record called Once with Feeling on the Malaco label that I'm not familiar with. It's an American label anyway, and I wasn't that familiar with Dorothy Moore either, but I listened to it, and very lush toned, a very soft album, soft, romantic, and all in all pleasant. Doesn't really have that edge that might make it a bit more interesting, but never mind. Well worth having. Then we have Carol Douglas. I have some of her other albums. This is one called Full Bloom on the Mid-Song label. And I thought when I first saw it and when I felt it, this felt really like RCA Dynaflex vinyl here. And when I noticed, yeah, Mid-Song is a label connected to RCA Records from 1977. And it's a bit late for Dynaflex, but it feels like Dynaflex. Never mind. Well-made arrangements and a great singer. I already knew that, and so it wasn't that much of a surprise. So I'm going to check her out further. Alright, we have 3 more records to show here. This is a bit later. It's not 70s, it's from 1980. It's Marcia Hines, and it's called Ooh Child. This is a bit of a disco pop album. I don't know that much about Marcia Hines, but she made like a version of Save the Last Dance for Me on this album. But in this case also I think it's a title track, Ooh Child, that really gets you going, that makes your feet want to move. And not in a way that you mean walk away, like more dancing. Yeah, of course you understood that. Another girl trio, Honeycomb, Love, Peace and Soul. Honeycomb, I've found some other records by them. I don't know that much about them though, other than that they have nice voices, and I mean, like in quite an ordinary girl group of the 70s. It's on the Buddha label. And then finally another girl trio, Hodges, James and Smith. Hodges, James and Smith, Power in Your Love. Look more happy on the back sleeve here. It's on the 20th Century Records from 1975, so it's in the disco tradition from the time between soul, funk and disco, where it all the music was all hand in hand. I mean, the disco, the funk and the soul was like walking the same path, and I kind of like that era when it all was kept together before they started walking in different paths and so on. Great vocals, great girls here too, and I think, well, that's about it, what I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you have a great midsummer, those of you who celebrate that. We have that in a couple of days here when I record this, and hope to see you soon again, and bye for now.